Alright guys, Zero here. Welcome back to my Philadelphia Union podcast. And I just got done watching the game against Portland, and it honestly left a very bitter taste in my mouth. Not good. Um, I have to say a loss was coming. We've been riding a high lately with Kasper Chobilko up front, who actually scored again in this game. But we lost 3-1 to Portland. And it did not look good in the first half at all, guys. So I want to talk about that game, talk a little bit about the Seattle game beforehand, or the one before the Portland game, I should say. But this game, we did not look well in the first half. It was very, very stale in the first half. We didn't move the ball quickly. Some bad turnovers and some very poor marking on defense led to 2 goals in the first half for Portland. Scored early in the second half and showed some good energy, but then kind of faded back into our slow pace, kind of just, everybody watching. It's like to the point where they just were getting the ball to Ilsinho, making him do everything other than other players moving around off the ball and creating. It was a little frustrating, or a lot frustrating, but Portland played really well for a road game. They really played well, and it was a long road trip for them to begin the season. But Union should have done better in this one. Should have done better in the Seattle game. Seattle game, we looked good. We really possessed the ball, completely dominated possession of the ball against Seattle. Created a lot of chances, took a lot of shots, just couldn't finish. And a big problem in this one too. We hit the post twice in this Portland game, and both games we just had trouble finishing. Aronson and Montero, two of the ones that really have had some good chances and just couldn't really put them in. So it's a little concerning right now as our offense hits a little bit of a snag in terms of putting up the goals, and the defense did not look good in this Portland game at all. We looked tired too late in the second half. Kai Wagner was clearly tired. I could tell Trabilko looked a little tired, and Bedoya looked tired as well. We have Colorado coming up on Wednesday, and we really need to get 3 points in that one. I mean, I think DC United just tied their game, so I don't believe we're in first place anymore. But considering where we are on the table, I can't complain too much. I didn't expect us to be this good right now. We're getting contributions from all over the field still. We're still without Marco Fabian. I don't know what's going on. He keeps getting re-injured. He's not really producing. If he can come back and produce, then that's just that's better for us, guys. That's way better. Corey Burke's got the visa issues, so we've been missing players too. Blake had come back from injury. Matt Freese has been out, although he's just the backup keeper, but he's been injured. Let me see what else. We just had Kenzie and Real, I think, are away with the U20s, so they aren't even available right now. Not that they've played much anyways right now. But, everybody seems to be finding their role in the team, which is important. I think that's a big thing. I think Santos is still trying to fit in. He looks like he can create things, and he can score, but really need to get him more involved. Had some nice touches in this game. And then Michi Galina made his debut tonight as well against Portland. Didn't really see much from him. He barely even had a touch of the ball, if anything. He was offsides once, I know, and I think he fouled somebody, as far as I remember seeing. But hopefully we'll get a better look at him in the coming weeks. It's just not a good little run here at home. When you think you had 3 straight home games here, you want to pick up, at least like 6 points, maybe 7, maybe even all 9. But to get just 1 so far out of a possible 6, it's very disappointing, which makes the Colorado game pretty much a must-win to stay above in there. I want us to stay in that top 3, top 4 if we can. Atlanta's starting to come a little bit. Red Bulls are starting to play better. DC's hit a little bit of a snag of their own. New England's starting to play a little better towards the bottom of the table. So it's like Chicago. Orlando's kind of hit or miss right now. So it's up for grabs. It really is. Teams below us aren't exactly living up to the bill either. So we're punching above our weight if we can just sustain some of this good form. This Portland game, probably one of the worst of the season by far, maybe except for the opening game against Toronto. So I mean, it was coming. We were due a loss. It really, we're not going to go undefeated the rest of the season and just keep going up with these results. It's how we respond to this. How do we respond Wednesday against Colorado? Let's take a look at the schedule here too, guys. Can we beat Colorado? Can we go and just beat them at home and just dominate? Because Colorado is one of the worst teams in the league right now. I think they are the worst team in the league. So there's no excuse why we can't, beat them at home. It's a 3 points from us. As you see there, that win against Toronto was marvelous, absolutely marvelous. I still can't believe that we won that game late on with the Montero goal. Again, the draw against Seattle, I didn't hate. It was a shutout. Thought we defended well. We created a lot of chances, just couldn't finish. Should have done better, but we didn't. This Portland game, though, really, just left you wanting more because we could have come back in this game. We saw a lot of the ball, but at times it was just too slow. I think we got to move it quicker. Just got to be more off-ball running, interchanging. At times it looked good. Montero usually is the one. If it isn't Ilsinho, it's Montero getting the ball and playing it into feet of the forwards and running off of that. Montero still continues to impress me. Didn't have a great game against Portland, but he did some things I liked. And he's been a great signing. So we got Colorado next, then we go to Minnesota, which is going to be a tough environment at the Alliance Field, the brand new stadium there from Minnesota United, who are looking like they're going to be a playoff team, perhaps, this season, which would be good for them. So you got to get the 3 points against Colorado. You just got to. So hopefully I'll be able to watch that on Wednesday night. Looking forward to that one. Another thing I want to talk about, guys, is the All-Star game. Now, they just released the list for the All-Stars to vote. I have already voted a few times. Voted for some Union players, of course. A little surprising that some of the players that are on there, like you have Marco Fabian, who I think, you would think before the season started, maybe he'll be an All-Star, but with his form and the amount of games he's played, there's no way he's an All-Star, but he's on the list. And yet a guy like Jamiro Montero, who I think should be starting on the All-Star team, isn't even on the list. Like, how is Jamiro Montero not even on the All-Star list? Brendan Aronson's not on there. Kai Wagner has been one of the best left backs in the league, isn't even on the list. It's pretty crazy. I'm surprised Chobilko is on there. They must have added him on in his recent form. I mean, I voted for him several times. Voted for Bedoya, Medunjanin. Definitely vote for Jack Elliott and Blake. Jack Elliott deserves to be an All-Star. If there's Union players who should be on the All-Star team, it's got to be Jack Elliott. You can make a case for Kai Wagner and Jamiro Montero, I think. Chobilko, I mean, maybe. Hasn't played that many games, but he's scoring and he's doing so well. I mean, it's hard to argue against it, but I mean, Bedoya could be an All-Star, perhaps. I think he's had a good season leading this team, but Jamiro Montero has been a game changer for this squad, on both sides of the ball. So for him to not even be on the list is a crime. I mean, I think he should be starting for the All-Star team. Let me know. Jim Curtin's post-game press conference is going live right now. But it's kind of shocking that he's just not on the list, guys. He should be, but what can you do? I'm not sure if you can write people in or not. I think there's multiple ways to vote. You can vote with some way in playing FIFA 19 or something. I don't have that game, so I play PES, so I can't do it that way. But I voted, so go out and vote for the Union players, guys. The ones that you think should be on the All-Star team that are on the list, and give votes for some other players you think. I don't typically vote for the star players around the league come All-Star time. I vote for players that are kind of like dark horses to get in. I think deserve to be on there. Or players that I like, I mean, obviously, the star players are always going to get all the votes, and you can see We don't even have anybody up there, really. I think Andre Blake has the most votes of any Union player. So, and he's probably not even going to get on the team. So hopefully at least one Union player will be on the All-Star team. It would be an absolute travesty and a crime if one wasn't, but just because of how good they've been. So we'll see. What else do I want to talk about? Other than that, I think the other trade we did after getting rid of Akam was Derek Jones. I don't think I mentioned that yet. Derek Jones has been traded, which is a bit of a shock to me as well. I realize we have Montero now, but to trade Jones, I mean, I know his value is probably more than Craval. That's why they kept Craval and sold Jones to Nashville. So Derek Jones is gone. Can't say I'm too happy about that because I've always liked his game, but they made it more a point to keep Montero. And just, Jones kind of just didn't have a place right now, but I figured we could use him off the bench at times. But we made money, so we'll see how we spend it. Still think we need a little bit of depth in some areas, in that central midfield area, in the wide areas. Striker looks decent right now if we get Corey Burke back and playing well. But who knows? Pretty good with the depth. Center back's pretty good. We got McKenzie and Colin off the bench. Right back we have Mbaizo and Gaddis. That's fine over there, looking pretty good. So we got depth. We actually have depth, which is another big reason why we're competing as well as we are. Is when he's had to put players in there, everybody's doing a job. Ilsinho's doing amazing off the bench. But get ready to watch the Colorado game on Wednesday, guys. So that's about all I'm going to touch up on here. Not too much, but I just wanted to give my reactions to the Portland game and talk about the All-Stars. Make sure you go vote. Go to the MLSsoccer.com and vote for your Union players, or if you're just vote for the players you want to see at least, But especially go vote for Union players, because at least one deserves to make it. And then I'll see you guys on the next podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate the support, guys. Any little listen, comment, or like, or view on this is very much appreciated. So I'll see you on the next one. Till next time, 0 is the number.